Hey there, Sudbury. Welcome to CKLU 96.7. This is another hour of creator conversations on this beautiful, although sweltering hot Tuesday afternoon. All right, it's been a busy week in Sudbury, so I hope you're just as excited as I am to looking forward to all the activities for Up Here Festival. If you've been driving around the downtown core, you'll see a few people set up starting on murals or starting on power-up boxes, so there's lots of fun stuff happening. One that you can see for sure, just kind of driving casually, is on the fire station on Van Horn, I believe it is. Joanna Westby's been working on a piece there. There's also one power-up box on Elgin Street right across from the Laughing Buddha that I've been kind of monitoring the process of because it's in my reign of traffic. But yeah, lots of exciting things going on. So the crew is hard at work. So I hope you are ready to enjoy yourself this weekend. All right, our creator, we put on the show every week for you to introduce you to all sorts of different Sudburyans that we think you should know about that make Sudbury such a great place to live. So this week, definitely no exception to the rule, we've got Meg Kant. So Meg was such a delight to talk to. So definitely somebody that would be a great help in a stressful time, which is handy because she happens to be a doula. Meg Kant is the founder of Northern Mama Maternal Services, formerly known as the Blissful Doula. So she was very kind to sit down with us for a great chat to talk about all sorts of things, the things that you should know about what a doula does. What exactly is a doula? And as well later on in the interview, we're going to talk a little bit more about her personal birthing experience. So lots of fun information to share for sure. Now, before we get into the interview, make sure that you are logged in, you are subscribed to all your feeds for ourcreator.com. So you can look up ourcreator.com for all sorts of articles all throughout the week, all sorts of different fun stuff, but also make sure you subscribe to us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram to make sure that you see what we're up to. We're going to be hitting up Upfest this weekend, so keep an eye on our Instagrams for Instagram story for all sorts of updates about what we're getting into. So without further ado, let's go into our talk with Meg. On this week's edition of Creator Conversations, we have with us Meg Kant from Northern Mama. So great services, offers all sorts of different services for women throughout the birthing process. But Meg, maybe in your own words, you can tell us a little bit more about what you guys are all about.
Yeah, so thanks for having me. So Northern Mama Maternal Services, we are a collective of maternal providers who specialize in taking the stress or anxiety out of pregnancy, birth, and parenting.
Awesome. Sums it up pretty well, right?
It does, yeah.
Northern Mama, you provide a ton of different services starting from expectant mothers, support during the actual birth process, as well as postpartum support. So can you expand a bit more about the services that you guys offer?
Yeah, for sure. So our birth support starts during pregnancy. So as soon as a client comes on, their due date is saved in our calendar. So obviously we'll be attending the full birth. But starting from there, they ask us questions. We set up a WhatsApp conversation, a little group between myself, my doula partner, and mom and her partner, should she have one. And basically they're encouraged to reach out with any questions they might have, experiences they might be going through, or if they just want to share something that might have happened. Because it's important to feel connected and really close with your doula, because she's going to be there for a very intimate time in your life. So we like to really build up that relationship before the birth actually happens. And then prenatally, we do a lot of education. So we usually have 2 prenatal appointments where we talk about everything from birth preferences. I should also say I call them birth preferences as opposed to birth plans, just because it's a little looser. It's not so black and white. And so we talk about that. We talk about what to expect at the birth, what to expect after baby arrives, and what kind of support they want from their doulas, and what their partner might want to support them as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people, probably mostly people who don't have kids, figure that once the baby's been born, the hard work's over, that's it, you're going to go out and be a mom. So what's really great about Northern Mama is that you guys provide a lot of support for afterwards. So, what happens afterwards? You've got this baby at home. What do you do? How do you adjust, right?
Yeah.
So can you talk more about the importance of this kind of support?
For sure. So, so we do. We have birth support, obviously, where we attend the whole birth and provide comfort measures. Sorry, I realized I didn't get to mention that. So comfort measures and emotional support, physical comfort, all of those kinds of things at the birth. And then postpartum, we say we're there to like mum the mum. Right? So we're there to make sure that everybody's kind of being taken care of. So make sure that baby is breastfeeding successfully if that's something that they're looking to do. Answer any questions they have about sleeping or bathing the baby is a really big one, or about like the baby's poos and the pees, or just helping with general kind of house stuff as well. Basically, we just want the mom to be able to relax.
And if mom hasn't had a shower in 3 days,
we are there.
Please wash your hair.
Oh.
Take all the time you need.
Take all the time. And also, truly, what usually happens when we come to postpartums is that we walk in, parents hand us the baby, and they go sleep. Because they're exhausted, right? Usually with a new baby, you're pretty tired. So we're just there to make sure that everybody's feeling as good as they can.
Nice. So one of the things that I loved when I was doing research for the interview is that mental health is a huge part of the business, and so you guys really emphasize that your mental health going into birth is just as important as your physical health. So can you tell us more about that philosophy?
Yes, no, absolutely. So maternal mental health is probably one of the biggest pieces that we focus on at Northern Mama. It's very much rooted in all the support that we provide, because we know, right, like moms and partners, of course, need to be feeling mentally well for them to be physically present and physically able to take care of their family the best that they can. So everyone on our team all has a background in either psychology or social work. So we're really able to provide that really thorough emotional support.
Awesome. So now Northern Mama has a therapy fund, which is a really awesome initiative that you've begun to help make your services more accessible to a larger variety of expectant or current mothers.
Yes.
So can you tell us more about that?
For sure. So we do actually have a perinatal therapist who is a part of our team as well. And so part of what we wanted to do, like you said, the maternal mental health is so important to us that we wanted to create a fund that moms that maybe don't have benefits or might not have the means to be able to afford therapy privately would be able to access our perinatal therapist. So, so she's been working lots with women in our community. She's been working a lot actually with infertility. We've also started an infertility support group and all those kinds of really wonderful things. So it's just our way of trying to give back to the community.
Yeah, for sure. And make sure that, everyone has a chance to access what they need.
Exactly. It should, absolutely. We do have a fantastic mental health, perinatal mental health program through our hospital. That we refer to all the time, but there is a criteria that needs to be met to get into the program. Sometimes the wait time is a little bit longer, so we try to make sure that services are accessible, as soon as you need them, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So now midwife and doula. So often these two titles you kind of hear them together. Not the same thing though. They are very different functions.
They are.
So can you explain the difference to us?
Absolutely. So this is, you are not alone if you've thought this. So it's pretty much something that we get asked all the time if doulas and midwives are the same. We have some kind of similar things under a similar umbrella, but our scope of practice is entirely different. So a midwife is like a healthcare provider. So they are just basically, they are like your doctor. They are there to deliver your baby. They're there to make sure that baby is healthy and mom is safe and everything goes smoothly medically. Whereas doulas, we're there to make sure that the experience is as positive as possible. So we're, like I said, so we're there for the emotional, the physical, and the informational support.
Awesome. Now, I'm sure a lot of people, if they're not maybe familiar with what a doula's, role really is, there's lots of misconceptions. So this is your chance to play Mythbusters.
Okay.
Are there any misconceptions about your services that you'd like to dispel?
Totally. First one being that we only attend home births. So truth be told, 90% of Northern Mama, our clients have hospital deliveries. Lots of them do have midwives, but lots of them also have obstetricians. So we work with both OBs and midwives. So it's kind of part of your team, right? A doula falls into your birth support team.
Yeah.
You can get an epidural with a doula. That's something that lots of people think, that if you have a doula, you can't get an epidural. You absolutely can. We are literally just non-biased, non-judgmental, like whatever you want to do, whatever your preferences are, like we're there to support that and give you the information that you need to make an informed decision.
Awesome. What are some of the things that you would say an expectant mom should consider when deciding her, I'm not going to use the term birth plan because we do not use that, birth preference?
Then I should just say that's just us. We like the term birth preference.
When deciding anyways what they think that they would prefer for their birthing experience, and also deciding if the doula is something that they'd want to include in that whole process.
For sure. So obviously we're a little bit biased. We think that anyone could truly benefit from a doula support, just because especially we don't know how births can go. So doulas are trained specifically and kind of knowing how to navigate like the waters of birth basically. A couple things that you probably want to think about in regards to your birth preferences is finding a provider that you really, really connect with, that you really, really like, doing some research. So that's a big part of, like I said, the educational support that doulas do, is there's so much information out there that we're like, this is the information that you probably need for the things that you're telling us that you want from your birth. Yeah. So think about what that birth would look like who do you want there, and like what kind of vibe do you want? Do you want it to be super chill, or do you want it to be like lively? What kind of music? Different things about how you want the experience to go.
Excellent. So yeah, you can really plan it down to like the playlist.
Yeah. Absolutely. We recommend that. Yeah. 2 playlists. One that's like a little bit more on the chill side, and one that's a little bit more lively. So depending what the vibe is at the labor, figuring it out like that.
That you can switch between. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Meg, so we're going to go to our first section of music, but before we do that, can you tell us where people can find more information about Northern Mama?
Yeah, so you can find us on Facebook at Northern Mama Maternal Services, formerly the Blissful Doula, also northernmama.com.
Awesome, thank you. Hey, welcome back to CKLU. So this was this is another edition, of Creator Conversations. This hour we've been speaking with Meg Kant. So if you didn't tune in for the whole thing, Meg Kant is the founder of Northern Mama Maternal Services. They provide all sorts of really valuable services for expectant mothers, for mothers afterwards to help adjust. So check them out on Facebook or look them up online if you are interested at all in their services. But they're definitely great, and it was so nice to sit down with Meg. She's definitely somebody, if I were to be perhaps having a child, definitely someone I would like to have in the room, but that's an episode for another day. So we're gonna get into some music here. So we of course have Up Here Festival coming up this weekend, so we're gonna play a few songs from that as well. I don't know if you are a fan at all of Drake, but guess who is? Lights. And Lights basically did a recreation of the entire Scorpion album. And, it's pretty decent. So we're going to play a song from that. So we're going to play Nice for What by Lights, Out of the Sky by Random Recipe. You can catch them performing on Sunday, and Cowboy by Nisa. I believe she is performing on Sunday as well. Right. So, as well, there is an explicit warning on this first song, so if you need to change the station, this is the time. Thanks for tuning in to Creator Conversations presented by Our Creator. We can't play the music right here, but check out below for the link to this week's playlist, as well as all the links you need for this week's guest. Make sure you're subscribed to Our Creator on all your feeds. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all under Our Creator, and use the hashtag Our Creator to be featured. Hey there, welcome back to CKLU 96.7. This is another hour of Creator Conversations. So that was just our first music break. We finished up, so we had Nice for What by Lights. That is from her Scorpion B-side album, full cover of Drake's recently released Scorpion album. So it's pretty cool if you want to check it out. Out of the Sky by Random Recipe and Cowboy by Nisa. Those are both performances you can catch this weekend at Up Here Festival, starting on Friday, going till till Sunday. Lots of fun stuff happening around downtown. Make sure you have the Up Here app downloaded on your phone. There's going to be lots of surprise shows, lots of little sneaky things that you might want to make sure that you know about. They also have on Sunday afternoon, they have a mystery tour scheduled, so that's something pretty exciting. So far they're pretty tight-lipped. The only thing they've let us know is that you want to be at the Dome on Durham Street Street near YMCA at 12:30 on Sunday afternoon. And there will be a bus that will be picking everyone up and taking them somewhere for a mystery tour. So if that has piqued your interest the way it has ours, make sure you check out ourcreator.com. The first article on the site right this second is our top theories. We might have gotten a little out of hand on those, but enjoy it. Take a read. It's just a little fun excitement for the festival. As well, if you're looking for some more things to check out this summer to make sure that you've made the best of it, Yes Theater, they have their repertory season going on right now at the Ernie Checkers Theater on Thornlow campus. So they have 2 productions going on. They were recently extended, originally scheduled to end on the 19th, now extended until the 26th. Violet and Merrily We Roll Along. So if you've been keeping up with the show, we did interview a few of the cast members a few weeks ago. If you go to ourcreator.com, you can find the recording of that as well to take a listen to. But beautiful stories. I so far myself have seen Violet, and oh boy, is it a tearjerker. That Janie Pinard, she plays the lead character titled Violet, and oh boy, she must be dehydrated after the end of that show. So lots of emotions going on. All right, so this hour we have been talking with Meg Kant from Northern Mama Maternal Services. So she was great to talk to. First half, we talked a lot about Northern Mama and the different services they provide. We talked a lot about postpartum mental health, as well as mental health during the process of bringing a new life into the world. That's one of the things that doulas work really hard to address, as well as many other things, obviously, making sure that mom is comfortable, making sure that mom is adjusting well to this big change in your life. So we're going to talk with Meg some more, a little bit more personal. We're going to hear more about her birthing experiences with her 2 little ones. And we're also going to find out how she even found out what a doula was, because it turns out she did not know until after she'd had her first child. So that's something pretty cool. So take a listen here, and we'll be back shortly. All right, so this hour we have been talking with Meg Kant from Northern Mama Maternal Services. We've been learning all sorts of things about doulas, midwives, where it all fits in, birthing practices, all that kind of stuff. So Meg, can you tell us, are you from the Sudbury area? Did you grow up here?
I did not.
Did not?
I did not.
Well, what brought you here?
So I'm originally from down south, from a little town called Elmvale.
Okay.
If you've ever been to the Elmvale Zoo. So I came here for university, and I always joke that I met my husband, and then he swindled me into staying here. So I've been here.
What a trickster.
What a trickster. Been here 11 years now, and we love it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So what were you doing before becoming a doula and starting Northern Mama?
Yes, so I actually used to work for a non-for-profit. I used to work for the Métis Nation of Ontario, and I was the community wellness coordinator there. So I worked a lot with families or women fleeing domestic violence. So it was a really, really powerful, very meaningful work. But I found that after I had my son, I was just so drawn to birth work and moms that I shifted my focus over towards Northern Mama.
Yeah. So now, do you feel like there's any kind of, from your past experience to now running your own business, especially this kind of a business, do you feel like there's transferable skills?
I do, actually. So at my previous employment, I did a lot of course developing. So I went all over the province teaching courses that we had built to other coworkers that I had, or employees of the Métis Nation. So I do a lot of teaching now. Teaching is a really big part of being a doula, just spreading information. I also have my honors degree in psychology, so I did a thesis. So I'm kind of a research junkie, which is also very helpful in being a doula, because a big part of our job is finding all the evidence-based research to kind of go with certain recommendations and those kinds of things.
Awesome. Now, before we hit record, you told me that when you had your first child, that you hadn't even heard of what a doula was.
Yes.
So how did you get introduced to this concept, and decide that you wanted to do that.
Yes, no, totally. So actually, after the birth of my first son, I had a really good experience, but there was a couple of things that I'd wondered if they could have gone differently. So I had a really fantastic midwife, and she was so present and wonderful for the medical support and all those kinds of things. But looking at it now as a doula, I can see midwives, especially in a hospital setting, have lots of roles. Like, they have so much they need to be doing, charting and getting the room prepped and all those kinds of things. So I had been kind of hoping that somebody would have been at the birth guiding me, you know, like saying like, Meg, you can try this position, or we can do that, or we can do this. And I just found that I didn't have that during that time. So I walked away basically being like, well, I wonder if somebody can do that. Like, I wonder if that's something that exists. And I Googled it, and that's when I found out what a doula is.
So what was your Google search? Like pregnancy Sherpa.
Yes, no. I should have Googled pregnancy Sherpa for sure. No. Well, I'm sure it was something along like person that helps women in labor or something like that, and that's how it came up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you did some more research, and you were like, wow, that's something I could totally see myself doing.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, super funny. One of my really close girlfriends, I'd been visiting her, and she shared that she had just done a training. And so she had said, Meg, like, I really think you should be a doula. And I was like, okay, I'm going to like check this out. So I did a lot of research trying to kind of find the best fit, like I said, I'm kind of a research junkie. So I wanted to find like the most thorough training. Mm-hmm. So I found a company called Bibomia, and then literally like the Sunday night they had a webinar. And like by Sunday night at midnight, I'm sure I signed up for the training. It was just excellent. It was so good.
It just completely sold you on
it.
Yeah,
I love them so much.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about transitioning from, you know, your past career, starting your own business. How did that all happen?
Yes. So I started my business while I was on mat leave. So, and then decided just not to go back to my full-time employment, which was quite a big leap.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
But it's just been like a big learning curve, I find. I didn't expect. I really enjoy running a business. Like, I love doula work as well, but I really do enjoy running my business as well. I like the marketing, and I like the advertising, and I like figuring kind of things out, and also getting really clear on who it is that we want to be working with, as well as really clear on like what their needs are, and just making sure that they have the support that they need.
Awesome. Now you have two little ones of your own, so can you tell us about you kind of touched on it already, but more about your first birthing experience with your oldest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so with my oldest, I had a hospital birth. I had a lot of back labor, so for anyone that might have experienced that, it's a lot of discomfort in your back. And I had a long early labor, so it was pretty uncomfortable. So after about 24 hours, I opted to get an epidural, and I would do it 1,000,000 times over. It was absolutely the right choice. But basically 45 minutes later, he was out. So that part went pretty quickly. And so that was kind of it. It was really, it's so funny, right? When you share it, it was a really positive experience. There were just pieces that I wish, that I had a little bit more guidance on.
Were a little bit different. So after having your first, like, what were there a few specific things, like, I imagine childbirth, it's like anything else. You've never done it before. There's 1,000,000 things that you're like, man, I wish I knew it was going to be like that.
Yes. No, for sure. Well, especially knowing what I know now, especially women with back labor. So specifically the kind of labor that I had, there are ways that we can kind of encourage baby to turn. Mm-hmm. So you might not have back labor. And so like we could maybe encourage them into a good position so it wouldn't be so uncomfortable. Labor might go a little bit more quickly depending on those kinds of things. So just things that I know now that I'm like, oh.
You're like, man, if only.
Had I only known.
If only I'd known.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So now how did things change between your first and your second? You've started your business. You've learned all these things. Mm-hmm. So what was different with your second little one?
Yes. So I knew a lot, but also I had a doula. Like, I, at the time I had written a blog, basically, you can't doula yourself. You can't be your own doula. And so that made a huge difference. Like, the second she walked into my house, because I really didn't actually believe I was really in labor. The second she walked into my house, like, things were just good, Everything was better. My husband was supported. Like, I was being supported. And it was just nice because I was able to kind of, like, mentally check out and just like birth. So we talk about with birth that you kind of go to labor land. I'm doing air quotes for people that are listening, because you kind of go into like a mental space where you're just in labor and you're just dealing with contractions and dealing with
and you just
coping.
Shouldn't be worried about any other thing.
Exactly. And so that's what I loved about having my doula there, is that she just guided all of it. So I was able to turn my brain off and just do what I needed to do. It was so good.
Yeah, like you're bringing a little human into the world.
Yeah, I'm working.
That's what you should be focused on.
I am working here.
Yeah, you're employed at this moment. You got a job.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. So you're running your own business, you're maintaining all your clients, then you also have your family life you have to take care of. That's a lot of plates to be spinning. So how do you handle it all? How do you manage it?
Okay, this is so funny. So I'm reading The Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes right now.
Okay.
So, and she actually shares about what she, wished that she said when people asked her this question, because people do ask me this question all the time. The truth of it is I don't handle it all. I don't, not even close. My house is a mess a lot of the time. Prioritizing is basically how we get through. We also have so much help. Like my husband is super helpful. My in-laws are helpful. Like my boys go to daycare. We have somebody on call for if I get called to a birth. So it's like I don't do any of it really myself, but I have a village around me of support that we've built to kind of help along the way, because I need it. I need the help.
No,
and it's
for sure.
amazing. Yeah.
And it's super refreshing. Like I think people, and like I'm sure especially moms, like put a lot of pressure on themselves to, have a clean house, like all these kind of things, like, take care of everything, plus also have a 4-course dinner on the table, right?
Yes.
And, it's important to give yourself permission to know that you have so much on your plate and that not everything has to be perfect.
Yes.
You might be able to wait a day without milk. If you haven't made it to the grocery store.
We can't go without milk a day, but other things, yes. Like cereal or whatever,
Yeah, for sure. So what advice do you have to other moms out there? I know you wrote a blog post about the mom struggle.
Yeah.
Talking a lot about that. So what is some of your top advice, for anyone out there that's maybe feeling overwhelmed with all the pressures they're under?
Yes, for sure. So firstly, practicing self-kindness is huge, 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 especially as a mom. Literally, if you think that somebody else has it together, I can guarantee you that they don't. None of the moms know what they're doing. We're all just winging it, and trying to just be the best parents that we can possibly be. And there's no right or wrong way to be a parent. Like, make your own choices, follow your mom intuition. That's huge, because there's a lot of information. So
you know your kid better than anyone else, right?
You absolutely do. And letting go of the mom guilt if you can. It's really hard. I'm not going to lie to you, but if you can let go of it, then doing that. And also recognizing if at any point it's more than just like stress or guilt, or right? Like if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, or if you're having scary thoughts, or if you're really anxious and not sleeping, like reaching out for maybe some extra support, some mental health, like help if you need it, because it happens. Like I think it's 1 in 4, 1 in 5 moms will struggle with postpartum depression. So don't be afraid to reach out if you need help.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, so let's get into some of your Sudbury favorites here.
Oh, okay.
So first up here, this is your chance. This is your chance to give a shout out, a Sudbury shout out. Anyone in Sudbury that you think is an unsung hero that just could use a moment of sunshine.
Oh my gosh, what a really beautiful thing. So Stephanie Langill, who owns Breastworks. So she's a lactation consultant here.
Okay.
Literally, I would have to say is one of the unsung heroes of Sudbury. She honestly, helps so many moms, continue with their breastfeeding or their feeding journey. And we love her. I love you, Steph. Thank you. You are amazing. I could not do my job without you.
Awesome. Do you have, obviously you're toting 2 little guys around.
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite family activities in the city?
We do like to go to Cup. We like that. We like to go to the Howard Armstrong. It's just down the street from us. What are some other things?
Yeah, the Cup Center. One of my friends from Manitoulin brought her little one there for the first time. Holy crap, did she ever have a blast?
Yes, it is. It's so fun, and there's things for different ages as well. We rock Science North too. Actually, I just took my 3-year-old to Imagine Cinemas downtown.
Oh.
And there's the big seats, and they accommodated him, and it was excellent. So that was really nice too.
Awesome. All right, date night. Occasionally, I'm sure you get an opportunity for that.
Sometimes.
So what's your favorite spot to go when you and your partner have a chance for date night?
Yeah, we like Pat and Mario's.
Mm-hmm.
We really love Pat and Mario's for
Pat
sure.
and Mario's, eh?
Twigs too.
Yeah.
We like Twigs and Guilty Pleasures. Like there's lots. There's several places.
Yeah, for sure. Do you get the roasted red pepper soup at Pat and Mario's?
I don't like tomatoes.
Oh, okay. I've never had it, but everyone talks about it.
I know. I wish I liked tomatoes because then I would get it.
Man.
I know.
All right,
ruining my life.
Well, you've talked a lot this hour about giving birth to babies, so let's talk about some baby making music. Just kidding. Just kidding. But I do want to know what you're listening to. So give me a few, 2 or 3 recommendations, something that you think I should play to close out the hour.
Okay. I really like, what's it called? Dear Life by High Valley. It's a country song. I really like, I think it's called Back at You by Selena Gomez. And,
I'll find it.
And Tiptoe by, oh my gosh, I don't remember his name right now. Jason Derulo? I think it is.
That sounds right.
Yes, I think that
sounds right.
Yep.
Have these ever been included on any birthing playlists?
Not yet, but they're new, so probably the births that we have in the next week or two, they'll be on there.
Not yet, but I'll give you some recommendations.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks so much, Meg. And actually, one more time, can you shout out where people can find more information about Northern Mama?
Of course, thanks. So, northernmama.com, or we're on Facebook at Northern Mama Maternal Services. Oh, also Instagram, Northern Mama Maternal Service.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, welcome back to CKLU 96.7. So this hour we have been speaking with Meg Kant of Northern Mama Maternal Services. So I hope you've tuned in for the whole hour to hear everything that she had to say. She was a delight to talk to, super informative, learned a lot about the function of a doula in the birthing process. So definitely, if you are in the family way, something to consider to add to, make the whole experience a little bit easier and, just make sure it's a positive one, right? All right, so we're going to go into some music here, but first, let's give you an update here on what's going on ourcrater.com. So if you head straight to the website, that's OURCRATER. We've got quite a few updates for you. So one that that's a little bit of a fun creative piece that we've been working on. We just posted today is our top theories for the Up Here Mystery Tour. So on Sunday the 19th, they are keeping it a big secret, but they've got a bit of a surprise planned for us. Some sort of a tour. So we've got a few fun theories of what we think they might be up to. We've also got lots of updated episodes of Creator Conversations. So we've got our update from Yes Theater about their summer festival that you can listen to. Their productions of Violet and Merrily We Go a Roll Along will be on until the 26th at the Ernie Checkers Theater, so you can take a look for that there. We've got a few updates. Where can your dog swim in Sudbury? So we heard back from you Sudburyans, but a few places that you like to take your pups to swim. We've got quite a few more updates from Magic Pelvis. We did an episode of Creator Conversation with them. Fierté Pride Sudbury, John McHenry from the STC, as well as Amanda Kingsley Mallow from Politics Now. We've done a few episodes that we've got up for you to take a look at. We have another article, Up Here Artists We Can't Wait to See. So we went through the full 8 hours of playlist for the Up Here Festival, and we narrowed it down to quite a selection of shows that we're excited to see. You can also find on our website a rundown of all the events in the month of August that you got to check out in Sudbury, and one of our more recent Maker Mondays posts. This one is with Sun and Soil Handmade. So they were really great. We did a really great giveaway of a macrame pot hanger. That was really cool. So check them out if you're looking for any other fun home decor or homemade items. So we're going to go into our last segment of music here. So this is our 3 requests from Meg Kant, what she's been listening to. So her requests were Dear Life from High Valley, Back to You by Selena Gomez, and Tiptoe by Jason Derulo and French Montana.
Thanks for tuning in to Creator Conversations presented by Our Creator. We can't play the music right here, but check out below for the link to this week's playlist, as well as all the links you need for this week's guest. Make sure you're subscribed to Our Creator on all your feeds. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all under Our Creator, and use the hashtag Our Creator to be featured.
All right, we are back to close out the hour here on CKLU 96.7. This is another hour of Creator Conversations. This hour we talked with Meg Kant from Northern Mama Maternal Services, so definitely check that out if you're more interested in more information about some of the stuff that they do. They're doing some really great work to help all the mamas in the north before, during, and after delivery. So taking real good care of all the moms out there. So we love that. All right, so make sure that you are subscribed to Our Creator on all your platforms, on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, to make sure that you are up to date with what we are up to. Up Here Festival this weekend. We're going to be checking out the festival and posting all sorts of stuff to our Instagram story, so make sure that you are subscribed to keep up to date with what we're checking out. We've also got lots of updates coming up on ourcreator.com, so that's OURCRATER, as well, actually, since you're tuned into CKLU right now. This weekend for the festival, we're going to be doing 2 special programs. So on the Friday, the 17th, we're going to be doing a special program from 6 to 8. And on Sunday, we'll be doing another special program from 9 to 11. So check those out if you are interested. And yeah, we will see you at the festival.